BarbacoaCore, a podcast network.
What is going on, everybody? Thank you for checking out a new episode of the BarbacoaCore Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick C. Huerta. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy these episodes. On this week's episode, I have two guests. We have Israel Garcia and Juan Perez. What's going on, fellas?
What up, homie? What's good?
What's up, man?
Thanks for having us on, bro.
Nah, thanks for coming out. We had to move from the studio that I usually use, the studio. Now we're just in this room. Hopefully nobody walks in and disrupts us.
It's like a for those that are listening right now, it's like a legit, like, you could actually live here in this, like, community. What is it, like a community guest room, I guess?
It's like a cafeteria for
They
the
got a
apartment.
stove, they got a fridge, they have a pool table.
Cafeteria,
Dude,
bro.
my Mexican ass is like thinking about like squatting in here right now.
Yeah, it's like if the porno studio had like a daycare. This is this is the room we're in. All the lights and stuff, and you can play video games on these TVs.
sure,
but
dude. Like,
now we're
smash
just
in
recording the
here.
podcast. So what's going on, man? Israel, before we get started, if y'all have any dates or social medias, promote whatever you got going on. Israel, we'll start with you.
What up? Yeah, man. Like I said, you guys can catch me March 20th through May the 2nd. I'm going on a huge national tour. We're going to be doing San Diego. We're going to be Chicago, Portland. We're going to be in Wisconsin, Florida, all these places all over the nation. And that's going to be March 20th through May the 2nd with headliner Raymond Huerta. So I'm going to be on the road with him for almost 3 months. And again, you guys can look me up on my fan page where the actual dates are located, and you guys can look me up on my fan page at One Bad Comic on my Facebook and on my Instagram. Also, May 7th through the 9th, I'm gonna be doing some shows with Chingo Bullying out of H-Town. So those shows are gonna be really, really hot. Again, for the cities, look me up on my fan page at One Bad Comic. And also on my Instagram, One Bad Comic, and I'm sure you guys could look that up. I think that one's going to be Corpus Christi, but I don't know. But again, just check me out, and my dates will be on there.
Anything in San Antonio got coming up?
San Antonio, I believe, February hold on. I had the date. My bad, guys. Where's my calendar? February 16th, I'm at the LOL with headliner Jesse Payton. So it's going to be me, Jesse Payton, Big Al Gonzalez, and Tammy Bernal. And that show should be badass. So anybody that's out here in San Antonio, make sure you check that out. It's going to be a really, really good show. And like I said, we're going to be on that. All the dates should be on there on my page.
What about you, Juan? You got anything going on?
Man, I got so much stuff that I don't want to like bring them up, bro. So
What's your social media? What do you got going on?
social media is the one that got away 87. So just look that up and you should be able to find me. Track me down with that.
It's funny because it seems like you're taking on the role of Israel's manager. Like you're telling him how to do.
It's like
You're
I just
prepping him for-
remember stuff, dude. So then I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, bro, don't forget about
just-
this. Hey, bro, don't forget about this.
Yeah, like every time I wake up, he's like, "Hey, you have to we're gonna do the podcast today." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, good. I'm glad you told me because I'll forget." So he's kind of, he's part of the entourage, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he'll also be in Dallas February 12th doing it with Polar Bear and stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
just so you know, because he forgot to say
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
So
I'm a
he's got
guy to
some other
wake
stuff.
up and they're like, are you ready for the show? I'm like, what show? You're in Dallas tonight, dude. I'm like, oh my God. I'm horrible with my dates.
That's insane, man. Like
So Juan's a little entourage guy now.
so, yeah. You gotta put him on the payroll now, man.
Yeah, I know he's gonna be on the payroll.
So this tour you got coming up, is this like your first tour that you've done?
No, I've done a lot of tours. I mean, not a lot, but I've done a couple of them. Me and Raymond went on tour probably, I think maybe like last year. I think it was last year, and we did mostly a Southwest tour. So we did like New Mexico, Arizona. We started Texas and New Mexico, Arizona, California, and then we went up to Washington, and we did Washington, and we drove all the way over there, and then we came back. We did Nevada also, Las Vegas, But this is like the first like national tour that's like pretty much stretches throughout the nation. You
And it's
know
like
what I mean?
nonstop.
Yeah, it's
For 2
like
weeks. What is it?
show
March
after
20th
show
to
after
May.
show. Yeah, it's
2.5 weeks, 3 weeks.
no, probably longer, man.
Oh, till May. Yeah,
'Cause the
yeah.
March, March to May the 2nd. It's the last show's in Austin.
March 20th to May
at the
2nd.
door. So it's just gonna be a huge road trip where it's like show after show after show. It's gonna be nonstop.
And this is fucking nonstop. So y'all got shows booked all throughout the whole month.
Yeah, throughout the whole month. Like,
Dude, apparently they're driving and shit, so it's gonna be. Look, check this out. It's gonna be him, Raymond Huerta. It's gonna be Polar Bear and fucking
Mario Salazar.
Mario Salazar.
Plus the
and they're all
camera
pretty
guy.
big guys. He's the smallest dude, and they're all gonna be packed into a car.
Like,
Truck.
why do you think they take me on the road, dude? They need
For the space.
they
Nobody
need
else
the
will
space,
fit.
and then for somebody to reach their merchandise in the truck because they're all they're so big and unhealthy. They need a
You
skinny
almost
guy
threw out
to
the
get
F
their
word,
stuff.
bastard.
Oh, did
You
I?
almost threw out the fat word. That's fucked up.
Oh,
saw
I
you.
know. I was gonna call him fat. You know what I mean?
He thought you
But
meant
then
the
I was
other
like,
F word.
I was like, oh my god, there's two fat guys here. I gotta be careful.
Jesus, man. Like, to be on the road for that long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good thing that y'all get along or that y'all know each other.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, we've been developing a lot of chemistry for a long time, dude. And I've known Raymond for probably more than 5 years already.
Yeah.
So we've just been developing each other, you know what I mean? So it's never any drama between us at all, you know. It's just fun.
You know how they say, like, when women, they hang out together for a long period of time, like all their cycles match up and stuff like that, like link up and they start having it at the same time. Did you know, like, with men, when men travel or, like, they hang out together for a long time, it raises, like, their testosterone levels,
Yeah.
and then they start fucking each other?
Yeah, there's been oh,
That's why they bring you, bro. You know, fuck the shit out of you.
They're like, yeah, there's been times.
I guess we have slept in the same bed. I mean, maybe I am a pretty heavy sleeper. I don't know. I might have been fondled.
Just wake up sore.
Yeah. It's
The
no
road is
wonder,
hard,
like, I
man.
wake up sometimes and the room smells like Bengay for some reason. I don't know if that has any correlation there.
Yeah, man, the road is long and hard, dude, and it's especially like close quarters. Like, you gotta share everything. And I'm
Yeah.
just talking like from like the rock and roll
Yeah.
time. Like, I've never spent that much time on the road, but man, 1 week, 2 weeks,
Yeah.
you start going
Frustrated,
insane.
yeah.
You start hating each
Yeah,
other.
and it's like you can't. It's not like you can't like masturbate. You know what I mean? You can't. There's no release.
I mean, it depends
Like,
on
there's
how good a
nothing you
friend
can
you are,
really
bro.
do because you're just constantly on the road.
Yeah.
You know, so there's
How
no
long are-
privacy. In other words, instead of masturbate, there's no privacy. In other words, that's what really well. Eventually, I could see how you become frustrated
Oh yeah.
because you're sharing rooms. You know, you're in the truck. You know, for hundreds and thousands of miles.
Yeah.
And it's just get off of me, dude. You know, like, you can't. There's no time for yourself.
Have you already mapped it out? Like, do you know how many long drives you're gonna have, or is it like 2 hours, 3 hours?
No,
4 hours?
some of them are. Most of them, you're talking like 8 hours to the next. And then you're just like, you do one show, you got a show tomorrow, and you got to drive the 8 hours. So we're doing the show, getting on, taking off, mostly getting off, doing the show.
He fucking said the other day, he was like, dude, I don't know how the fuck we're gonna do this. Like, the next day it's gonna be like a 12-hour drive.
Yeah, dude. There's some
What?
shows that you're talking 10-hour drives to get to the show the next day.
For the show the next day, so you
Yeah.
don't even have that day to just drive.
Yeah, it's probably when Raymond told me about it, I was like, oh my god, I don't know if we can do this. I'm like, can we, like, it's so many dates,
Yeah.
and they're so close to each other that we're just kind of like, wow, it's a little bit overwhelming. But I think we're gonna pull it off. You know, I think it'll be a good tour. And I know Raymond's taking along a cameraman, Luis, good friend of ours, and he's gonna be tagging along also, and he's gonna be recording the entire tour pretty much.
Oh, that's cool.
We're trying to pitch. I don't know if I could say much about it, but we're trying to pitch like a little documentary. You know what I mean? So it's just gonna follow us throughout our whole experience. On the tour.
That's cool.
So that should be cool. I mean, I don't know what kind of content we're gonna get out of it. And again, record your sets. You know, I mean, that's gonna allow me to just record my sets and throw out more content. You know, I know like somebody like Andrew Schultz right now who's murdering the game right now, dude.
Yeah.
He's been pushing a lot of content. You know what I mean? A lot of his stand-up clips. You know,
putting
need to
everything
start
on
doing that.
YouTube, making it easier for people to get rather than
Yeah.
wait for like Netflix or Amazon
Yeah,
or
you
whoever
do
else is
yourself,
fucking.
Yeah, you know, you got that idea from that rapper. What's his name? Russ or something. So Russ started doing that stuff where he started putting out content like a song every week or something. And now Andrew Schultz started doing that. And now the whole comedy world's trying to start doing that. Like put out as much content as you can.
Yeah, everything's all fast.
Pretty
now,
cool.
dude.
Yeah, man. Like everybody's trying to like learn the tricks of like the whole social media thing, like how to get the name out, how to do all that stuff. You got to put caption videos because not everybody could like listen to
Yeah,
what they're
people-
doing, but they
deaf
could read
people
it.
like comedy too, guys.
And then like reading all that stuff. But yeah, that's cool, man. Any new spot that you haven't been that you're kind of excited to stop in on this tour?
I'm looking forward to Chicago, man. I know Chicago's a big, an awesome city.
I'm pretty sure they're not going to appreciate you calling it Chicago.
Chicago. Well, I mean, there is a lot of Mexicans in Chicago, dude. Lot of violence. I'm assuming there's a lot of Mexicans there. But yeah, Chicago is definitely a city I've always wanted to go and visit. You know? And we're literally doing a show. I think it's called Sluggers, and I believe it's like right in front of the is it the Wrigley
Yeah.
the Wrigley Field, yeah. So I'm like looking forward to seeing that. You know, I never imagined that I'd be doing comedy. You know what I mean? In Chicago of all places. You know.
Yeah.
So
That's cool, man.
Just everywhere, to be honest. Just to be able to travel and do comedy alone to me is something that I just can't like. I'm just still in awe about it. Like, what is going on, man? Like, you know, like I'm going to travel the fucking United States and get to do stand up. Like, it's just so weird to me. You know, I've been doing stand up for so long that.
How long have you been doing it?
I about 13 years.
13 years.
I started when I was 20. Yeah, I'm 33 now.
Holy shit, man! 13
So,
years. That's
you
a
know,
long time.
it takes a long time to get anywhere in the game. You know, I mean, but again, it. Some people have been doing stand up 2 years and they make it. I don't know. It's just the game's open to anything, you know. But just me personally, it takes. Generally speaking, you're talking about years of working your craft and getting good at it, and you know. And sometimes you're just so used to like eating crap. You know what I mean? Like, just you're so used to the struggle that when you get to a level where you're like, whoa, man, these things are happening to me, you don't even believe it because you're just so used to the abuse. You know what I mean?
That's horrible, man. That sounds so bad.
You're so used to the abuse that when good things happen, you're like, what? This doesn't make sense. Like, what? So yeah, I'm just right there in my career. That's where I'm at right now, where I'm, you know, snapping out of it a little bit.
That's awesome, man. Well, good luck with that tour, man. It sounds awesome. Like, it sounds fun as hell. You know, like when I was in bands, that's all I wanted to do is be on the road. And then when I was on the road, I was like, I just want to go home.
Yeah, you're always wanting to go home, you know.
Nah, but it should be a lot of fun, man. It's good that y'all get along. It's with people that you know, because I've been on the road with people that I didn't know, and so I'm learning them on the road and stuff. So
Yeah,
that's a game changer in
you do that
itself.
sometimes, you know, comics when you know headliner and the club books a headliner and you don't know who the hell he is, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I'm assuming like just being in a band because I recorded that song that parody song that I recorded.
Yeah.
And one thing that I noticed about recording a song, which I never thought that I would be recording a song, it just happened. Like I just had these lyrics, and it's weird because this is what I always tell comics too. Like and I guess you guys, everybody knows that. Always write ideas.
Yeah.
Like write them down, even if they're good or bad. Who cares? Just have them somewhere. And about maybe like a month ago, I was trying to clear my Evernote because I use Evernote where I write my material.
Yeah.
Like my premises, it's just a whole page of premises. And I was scrolling through it and I'm like, I need to clear some of these, you know. Some of them I was like, you know when you write stuff drunk and you're like, oh, this is gonna be hilarious, and then like, you know.
Well, it's good that you put it in your Evernote rather than text it to somebody.
Yeah, or I have people do that to me, like, text me this thing that I'm telling you right now. And that's just like something like doesn't even like fucking cookie dough priest until it's touching. You know what I mean? You're like, what does that even mean?
This is gold, man.
Yeah,
This is gold.
it's gonna be gold. You wake up the next day and you have no idea what you were trying to tell yourself. So I have a lot of those because I'm an alcoholic. So I scrolled through. That was just a joke, guys.
No.
The audience
Patrick
didn't
looked
get
at
it.
me like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
No,
Look at this
I
guy.
Me too.
I could see it.
You said that I took a drink of my beer. I was like, yeah,
Hey,
that's
nobody,
all
while
right.
we're
knows,
drinking.
nobody knows what you're talking about as far as your parody. Tell them what. I don't think you
Yeah.
plugged
So
it. You didn't
what
plug
I
the
was
song?
what I was doing, I was going through my Evernote and just clearing up stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And I got to something that I wrote. I believe it was like maybe like a year ago. I wrote it, and I was like Kokomo parody song, and I had written a couple of lines already. You know, for anybody that doesn't know, the Beach Boys have this song called Kokomo. And it's a really cool song, and it's like, hey, down in Kokomo, come on, pretty, you know what I mean? So I remember you know when you go down the rabbit hole on YouTube,
Yeah.
and like after a while, like you're such a bum, you run out of shit to like YouTube, like there's just nothing, so just stupid things come to you.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was a little kid, I saw the Muppets. The Muppets did a cover of the Kokomo song, and I had gotten on, and I don't know, I'm an old man. What am I doing YouTubing the Muppets?
That's
But-
fine, man. Muppets were back in our
Yeah,
time.
they
so
were
we could-
dope, right?
We could
They
still
were
watch it, yeah.
Gonzo and fucking all these other ones. But I was watching that video, and when I was watching the Muppets do the Kokomo song, I was like, I just started saying, way down in Mexico. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's funny. So I wrote like 2-3 lines, and that was it. So forever, I had it in there,
Yeah.
but I just totally forgot about it. It wasn't until like maybe about a month ago when I was clearing up my stuff, I saw the line, and I was like, what if I would just write let me just do the whole song. So I put the song, and I started just writing all the lyrics. I was up till like maybe like 5 in the morning, dude, writing the lyrics, because I did them exactly how the Beach Boys did it, like to the T, like just
Following all the
yes,
notes,
like
all the
where I
cadences.
could just do it, right?
Yeah.
So I did the song, I wrote it, and I was like, well, how can I do this, right? So then I started downloading I downloaded the instrumental version of the Beach Boys, but they had like really, you know how those cheapy karaoke versions?
Yeah, that's how they get away with the whole publishing rights. They
They
change
make
it a
them
little bit.
really shitty.
Yeah.
They make them really shitty.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah, because I would hear them, and I'm like, this is whack.
It sounds real digitized, or
Yes.
I don't even, is that a word? Digitized?
Digitized
now.
is actually, I think
It
it
sounds
is.
good to me.
Digitized.
Digitally
Yeah, it sounds
digitized.
pretty
Yeah, like when all the karaoke things, it's not the same tracks. It's not just the tracks
Yes.
minus the vocals. It's a rearranged version, like digitally, so they can use it.
That makes
For the
sense.
whole ASCAP
That's
and
what
all
I was
that stuff.
now, and that's what was happening. So that makes a lot of sense, because all the songs that I was downloading, I'm like, these are whack, dude. Like I'm like, people are not even gonna know what song this is. So
It was that different? Like it was that much off?
yeah, it just sounded really cheap.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want something to sound as close as it can to the actual sound of the Beach Boys.
Okay.
And I couldn't find one. Or if I did, there was like the hooks had voices in them. So they would be like, you know, they would say the chorus. So I'm like, it can't have the chorus because I have my own chorus.
Yeah.
So I was like, how am I going to take that out? You know, so I couldn't find anything. So I kind of left it like that for a little bit. And then
And you don't play music? You don't play an instrument?
No.
Okay.
I wish I did though, man.
Yeah.
I think music is a great outlet, especially for anything.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a great creative outlet. And so I reached out to a guy named Mark Weber, who's a Tejano musician, but he does parody music too. He's a big fan of Raymond Horta's. So I reached out to him, and I told him like, hey, Mark, I have this song I would like to do is like cover it, and I have my own lyrics. I want to do like a parody. And he was like, we'll get together sometime, you know. And I'm like, cool. But it never kind of happened. You know, it was like those times. And after a while, I was like, I don't want to be bothering, because I would message him like, hey, do you have time? And
Yeah.
he was like, oh, we'll get together. I just, you know, he was just not. So finally, I'm like, you know what? I got a little desperate. And I was like, hey, man, I didn't even tell him about the parody. I was just like, hey, let's hang out. Let's go get some beers. And he's like, yeah, I'm down. I'll go get some beers. So we went to Dad's Karaoke. And then we were hanging out at Dad's Karaoke, me, Irma, and Mark. And he came out and he showed up. So he didn't know that I had my lyrics. So I signed up for the karaoke, and I signed up for Beach Boys Kokomo. And so I went up and I sang the Kokomo song, but with my lyrics on it. And people started laughing, dude. Like, people were watching, you know, like, what the hell is this? You know,
Yeah.
and so I did my entire parody song in front of him for the first time, you know. As soon as I got off, I went over to him, and he's like, hey, you know what? I'm messaging the studio right now, because he works at this place called Escalante Studios. And it's a really cool studio. That's where he records his albums. A lot of like Tejano musicians go there and record their music. So he went and got me an appointment with them. And I went in there, and I was like, it was a legit studio, man, professional shit, you know. And I was just kind of like, hey, man, this is too much. Like, I don't know, like, how much. I thought we were just gonna come over to my house.
Dollar signs and all that stuff.
Yeah. I was like, I don't have that type of,
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what? Don't worry about it, man. I'm taking care. I don't know if I should even tell it. I don't know if he wants people to know, but he's like, hey, I took care of everything for you. He's like, I just want you to make this song. So he sponsored me pretty much. He sponsored the entire song.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, he had sponsored the entire song.
Just off hearing it, the karaoke version?
The what?
Just from hearing the karaoke version?
Yeah, just from hearing the karaoke version. He liked
pretty
it so
cool,
much.
man.
So then when we got to the studio, I was like, okay, we're gonna record it, and then I had my lyrics, and then they kind of had also they had a decent cover of the Beach Boys. So they were just kind of, the producer was just kind of put the music and put my voice into the cover. You know what I mean? And then we were sitting down, and he kind of messaged like, well, what do you want to do? Like, he was just kind of like looking at stuff, and he's like, well, what do you like? How do you want to do this? You know? And I was just kind of like, well, I don't know, man. I was just kind of also thinking like, what if we made it like a little bit like a Tejano style, like Tejano style, you know? And then he just looked over. He's like, "Oh, you want like Tejano style? Like you want to do it like Tejano style?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right." So he busts out all his equipment, like, and there was like 3 other guys, a badass guitarist guy. All the people that were on this track, dude, are 30 plus musical. They've been in the game a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the producer. What was he like? He's like
producers.
the. He has his own band back in the day, the City Boys and stuff.
Yeah, like a hit and all that.
They're like a big hit.
They're very well known in the Tejano world, you know. And so he busted out his equipment and started recording everything, you know what I mean? And then the guitarist busted out his guitar and he's playing, you know.
Yeah.
And they're making this amazing song, and I'm tripping like, whoa, dude, this is like, you know, it's more. I got overwhelmed almost, you know,
from that little small idea. Now you're in the studio
like, you
laying
know,
down
and then
tracks.
somebody walks in. And they're just standing there, and then they're like, hey, then can I, like, whose song is this? And I'm like, oh, that's mine. He's like, hey, that's pretty cool, man. You think I can do something on it? And I'd be like, yeah, go for it. So he would bust out his instrument. Then another guy came out, and he was just standing there, and he's like, hey, I want to get on there too. And he did the saxophone on it. And it was just, by the end of the night, we had this amazing, like, legit professional song, you know, that we got to do.
And the guy was like, what did he tell you? He said it was like,
yeah, the producer, even the producer was tripping, dude. The producer was even like, hey, at the end of the night, he's like, you know, all those guys don't just jump on other people's tracks like that. Like, they have because they're so like, they've been in the game so long.
That's their business, really.
Grammy Award. Yeah, exactly. Grammy Award winners and Hall of Famers that were hanging out. But they were very like, that's their name. You know what I mean? So they were guarding their stuff real well. But he's like, whatever it was, man, those guys all decided to get on it. So there's all these names on there from different bands and different things. And they all ended up on my track, you know?
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I know. It was overwhelming. And I was like, I felt honored. But it's just funny to watch him like jam out to my song, you know, while they're playing these awesome instruments, you know, because then they're like, because it's like there's all these like dirty lines in there, like where they're like, oh, fuck putas hanging by the red light. And then they're just like, yeah, hang out with putas by the red light. Like, and they're all with the instruments, like all serious, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just funny to watch them being all serious with these, you know, stupid lines.
They're like, oh, well, I'm already this far in. I can't take my name off of this.
Yeah, dude. So it was real cool, man. They were all real nice and real cool. So, I mean, hopefully the song drops. I'm gonna try to record the music video. The song needs just a little bit, the last little tweaks here and there, which hopefully we can get them done tomorrow. But the song should be done by Wednesday, and I want to record the video by Thursday. So hopefully we can get the video done and have something done by the end of the week. You know.
This Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So what is the plan to release on it? Like, are you going to put out like a CD, or are you trying to get it done before tour?
I mean, the thing is I just did this thing that I just did it.
Yeah.
So it's just everything's coming to me and being like, well, what do I want to do with this stuff? Like, so we were thinking about maybe perhaps
like doing like a CD cover.
Yeah, like a little sleeve or something like that, you know, with the music in the sleeve.
And his information.
Yeah, with my info, and maybe sell it at shows. You know what I mean? Just to have, you know, some type of memorabilia for fans.
Yeah.
Maybe like a cool album cover. and just sell it like that, and then maybe post it up on iTunes for $1, and if people like it, whatever. It's not, I don't care.
Yeah.
But just to have it there, I think so. I mean, I don't know. It's just real cool.
Have you recorded a comedy album yet? Have you done anything like that?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. I know there's a lot of great albums, though, man. Raul Sanchez was real good. I liked his a lot.
Yeah, pretty
man.
funny. Really funny.
I know Aaron Cheatham, dude. He's hilarious. I just worked with Cheatham. When was it?
Oh, up in Laredo?
Like 3 weeks ago.
Yes. Oh, my God. He's hilarious, bro.
That dude's pretty funny, man. Done a couple shows with him.
Oh,
yeah, he just recorded it a couple months ago. I don't know if he's having any plans, like what the plan is to release on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he recorded it down at the Tiger.
I've been wanting to, but I've been kind of holding off on it just a little bit, just because there are some things that are coming my way that I want to hold the material. You know what I mean? I want to hold on to the material just a little bit and then drop it on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to. I guess like just things that are being tossed around for me.
Yeah.
So I could use it on that.
Oh, okay. No, I was just trying to figure out like which way would be the best way to like release it. Like I don't know if you already had like other stuff that's out there to release.
I know for sure I'm gonna be using it on the road.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop it in there during my set. Maybe on my it'll be my new closer.
Yeah.
Dude, but he's just caught off guard though, because like it just happened like last week, and they were just like, come
It
in.
happened all fast
And
and,
then
stuff.
they did it,
so
and then like
fast.
next day the guy had it all done. It was like, what the
it's
hell?
like, what?
And then after that, he's like, we got to do a clean version so we can put it out somewhere else.
Yeah, for sure you want to do it
I'm like,
for
all
radio.
right, because there was a radio DJs there too that were like, oh, this is great. So so I don't know. Again, it's just something that I just thought of, and it happened, and it came out real well. So, but I think it'd be great to like do it on the road. I think it'd be hilarious.
That producer is a monster, dude. Like he's legit. And he drinks a lot.
He's exactly. However you picture like a hardcore Mexican Tejano producer, that's exactly how he looks.
He
like.
was like, he was like, you guys want to drink with us? And I was like, nah, man, I gotta
party.
drive. And then he's like, Israel's like, I'll do it. And he starts doing it. And dude, the guy was
least
out
I could
drinking
do.
him. He's like, fuck, dude. They ran up like a 24-pack. He's like, hey man, I'm going to the store. Can you take me to the store? I was like, yeah, man. We go. He gets more beer. He's like, I want anything else. I was like, oh shit. When we got back, he started just hammering them back. I was like,
It's that rock lifestyle,
man, you gotta
man.
have that.
They gotta party
You
hard,
gotta have
man.
that
They're
fucking
legit,
iron.
dude. They're all pretty hardcore. Bro,
liver.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's that. I didn't know. Like, there's this Tejano world that we're not really. Do you listen to a lot of Tejano music?
I don't know that much of it, but I know there's a lot of
I don't
musicians
know that
here.
much
There's
of
a
it.
niche, bro. There's a niche in the Tejano where people are like, it's like even in Japan, dog. He was showing us videos of like Tejano music is huge, like in Japan.
Like Japanese Tejano
wow.
players and
There's
stuff.
like Japanese.
He's like, I do
Tejano
my
players.
research, bro. Check this out. He's like showing us
And you're
YouTube
like watching
clips.
these fucking Japanese looking motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
like
Like legit.
Japanese people or just
yeah,
like
no,
expats
like
living in
Japanese,
Japan?
Like legit
No,
Japanese guys playing the accordion,
Yeah.
fucking singing the songs.
dressed
like,
up like
Oh,
them,
wow.
and they love Tejano music.
I guess just like the whole like the music, the sound of it, they kind of like
Scene
just
or-
do
yeah,
dig
they have
it.
like a scene where there's just
That is
one
funny,
tour,
though, man.
And it's in Japan.
Dude, it wasn't just that. It was who was it? It was Japanese people. Who else? Who else did he show?
He showed us
a
from
lot of weird
Iceland,
shit.
the Holland, and
The
all
Holland?
those places. They
Oh, dude,
love
that was
Tejano
weird.
music.
That's crazy.
I was
It's
like,
just like those Philippines. Did you ever see that Vice show where they talk about the Philippines are into like cholos?
Yes, I did
That
see
they dress
that.
up like cholos.
Yeah, was that
Which
real?
they already look like
No,
Mexicans.
but that's like.
I thought that was like a parody thing. I thought was
That's
that
not a parody.
no,
They
it's
did-
a real thing.
that they
Joe
dress
Coy
up
has
like?
he has a special where he's like, man, like
Who?
Joe Coy.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah.
has a special where he's like, dude, you can't tell the difference between a Filipino and like a cholo. And he's like walking around. He's like, look like that guy. And he looks at him. He's like, what are you? He's like, Filipino. He's like, see what I fucking mean? Fucking.
Yeah,
fucking
that's-
Chicano.
So yeah, they're like all into lowriders.
Yeah,
and,
like the khakis
cholo
and the
stuff.
dickies and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
dude, it's
I just thought it was a parody. I don't know, man.
See,
I didn't.
that's the thing that I don't understand. This is why I believe that cultural
Appropriation?
appropriation is bullshit.
What do you mean?
I don't believe in cultural appropriation. Like people get offended. Like if somebody's wearing dreadlocks, and
podcast's
like,
gonna get
hey,
canceled.
it's cultural appropriation. You can't wear dreadlocks because you're exploiting a culture. No, you're not. They're just doing something. I'm not offended by Japanese people singing Tejano music.
Yeah.
They're just exploring it and they're learning stuff
Dude,
from
you're
it.
gonna get
Like,
Patrick canceled,
why
bro.
is that?
No, that's fine. I just white dudes with dreads is disgusting.
But why?
I don't know, man. They just.
I mean, they look disgusting.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they are disgusting. Nobody looks dirtier than a white person wearing dreadlocks. Okay.
No, man. Like, yeah, they just.
But in what sense? But okay. But then again, with that type of theory, then do you not feel disgusted with the Japanese playing Tejano music? Wouldn't you gotta go all the way across the board?
There's no what?
There's no smell to that.
There's no.
I'm talking about.
That's what I mean.
I'm talking about.
Talking about hygiene, bro.
Yeah, I'm
We're
talking about the hygiene of it.
Yeah, you're okay. So you're like me then, but you're not saying as far as like offensive where.
No, I'm not.
You do feel that
it doesn't.
That white people shouldn't have.
No, they could look however they want to look. It doesn't offend my eyes. It offends my nose.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I was like,
all right. I was just trying to figure you
bro.
out. Yeah. That's why I said they do look dirty as fuck, man.
No.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they could look however they want. Just don't smell.
Yeah.
Just take a shower.
Yeah,
fuck.
dude. I mean, dreadlocks alone are pretty. I mean, look at Bob Marley. Bob Marley had dreadlocks. I mean, I've read articles and stuff where he had lice. I mean, dreadlocks alone it's you gotta let your hair grow. You can't wash it.
Yeah, they're supposed to have like lotions or something, oils and stuff like essential oils. So
yeah, but
to
I
keep
mean,
it
as far
somewhat
as like
clean
I'm
smelling.
talking about the actual, like the culturally offensive part of it, where people are like, you can't.
Like white guys rapping.
Yeah,
Like
white
they say
guys
that's
rapping
cultural appropriation.
and anywhere it happens with Mexicans too. We do that to people too. That to me is the thing that I don't understand. I'm like, no, it's just people exploring things. Like again, unless they're being offensive about it, like where you could tell they're degrading it on purpose, or there's like a hidden like. They're being disrespectful to it.
Like blackface.
Yeah, like blackface style shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're like, okay, yeah, you're being a dick.
You're putting the negative connotation
Yeah,
on it.
but when I see these videos on YouTube where people are walking up to somebody because they have dreadlocks and they're like, you can't be doing that, and they're getting on their face, and you don't know who that person is. Like, you don't get to do that to someone,
He just really likes Sublime.
I don't believe in any of cultural appropriation. I don't believe in all that type of shit, privilege and all that stuff. I'm sorry, I just don't see that.
Yeah, I mean, I hear that all the time. The cultural appropriation. That doesn't bother me none. It just don't smell. I don't like smelly people.
You're a smell. Yeah, nobody wants to be smelly, dude. It's just the worst, dude. I've known comedians. Some. It's weird. As for comics too, you gotta be clean with your fucking. You know what I mean? Comics that stink are they're the worst because you're taking pictures with people and stuff like that, and you're like, dude, you fucking stink like ass right now, dude. Like,
Oh yeah.
How are you gonna? There's this one guy. I'm not gonna say his name. He's actually.
You should say his name.
He's actually pretty. He's getting there, bro.
You should
Pretty
say his
famous.
name, bro. You say his name.
I won't name drop.
Say his initials.
No.
I was about to be like, it starts with a.
Would be like he
It starts with a. No.
just write it down later.
He's doing some good shit, some big stuff. But I hosted for him one time, and I remember dude, this guy smelled so fucking bad. Like his smell stayed after he left.
Oh yeah.
Like the stench was still there after he was gone.
The dreaded BO.
Like it just
The
stayed
BO,
there. Like I remember when I gave him the microphone, I was like, whoa, like dude, I almost like passed like
Whoa, that bad?
You know how when you get dizzy and shit? Like
Yeah.
Dude, it wasn't that bad.
no, he
God
reeked.
damn.
He reeked. I got off the stage.
Sometimes it be like that, man. Sometimes it be
I've
like
never
that.
seen. I've
He
never
left the
smelled that
microphone.
bad.
He got off earlier before I got to the mic. So he left. I went up to the microphone and I still smelled like I was in a pool of stench.
Yeah.
Shit.
And then afterwards, he's out there taking pictures with people, and I'm like, dude, you can't. You gotta know. I don't know. I
Yeah.
just feel like you have to know where you're at, always, or at least have deodorant, or if you know you're a stinky fuck, take some deo.
That's one of my
sprays.
biggest fears. Like if anybody smells bad, they automatically look at the fat guy. Like, oh, it has to be the fat guy. The fat guy smelling like
yeah,
BO.
bro, we got crevices and shit where you're just gonna be extra
Yeah,
odor,
man.
bro.
So that's
The
always
fat guy problems.
I'm always
Fat
the
guy
thing like,
problem,
do I stink? Am I stinking?
Do I
Am I
stink?
stink? I don't know. It's our
You know,
problem.
you know what? I've hung out with you a lot of times. You've never stank, bro. You've never given me.
I try.
You don't
try.
seem like a stinky fuck, dude.
Yeah, I try.
Mine neither. We've been kind of roommates for a little bit, and
But I'll tell you this: that tour truck.
Oh,
That's
dude,
gonna smell like
that's
gonna
ass and ball
we're gonna get
sweat,
so
bro.
used to get sweaty
Fucking
ball
rank.
smells, dude.
Yeah,
but you
man.
said you're gonna add another person to the car. That's fucking. That's assholes and elbows, bro.
Ass farting.
Yeah.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Like
bro.
you won't even know. Like you're just gonna be a cloud,
Yeah, it was just
a pigpen cloud.
like you're just gonna get used to it.
Yeah,
You
man.
guys are gonna be queefing all over.
Yeah,
The place. It's gonna be
just
crazy,
like-
bro.
Queefing.
I remember like when we were on tour in the van, and like we would be in the van for like days. You know, some people have to sleep in the van. There'll be one night where we don't have a show, so like we'll get to be out of the van for at least 12 hours.
Wow.
And when you get back in the van, you're like, oh my God, is this us?
We
This
didn't
is
wash their
us.
ass. What the
Holy
fuck?
Oh,
shit.
yeah, you feel embarrassed.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really feel embarrassed because it's a group effort, you know. So that's like a collective.
Everybody's just
That's a
like,
collective thing.
It's like what is it? It's like what is it when the Power Rangers like team up and make that makeup?
Yeah, exactly. Because we're all desensitized by it, you know.
Yeah.
Because we're in that thing, we're living in it for hours
Dude,
and
that's
days.
what I'm scared of. Like you talking about like somebody smelling so bad, like being that guy, and not knowing. you're that
Exactly,
guy.
exactly. It's a real thing, man.
Oh yeah, dude, it's the worst when it's just, yeah, it's just like everybody teams up and creates one huge disgusting stench.
Fucking rock and roll, yeah.
I don't know, like I could never like you said you were in a band, right? You were in.
Yeah, I played drums for a few bands, yeah.
So you were actually on the road with a band.
Yeah.
That I just feel like that must be so fucking hard.
It was a lot of work, man. It fucking sucks. I mean, it's fun. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work too. Like, if anybody were to ask me, like, if they're a young person and they said, "I want to be a great drummer," what's the first thing I need to learn? And I'd say guitar, because playing drums and loading in and loading out and carrying all that heavy equipment
Yeah.
is fucking bullshit,
your own
dude.
stuff.
Yeah, just give me a guitar, man. I wish I learned how to play guitar or something,
Dude,
something lighter.
That's hard, man. And it's like being in a band. It's like, okay, not only do you have to have your instrument, then you got to create with other people.
Yeah.
As far as in the comedy world, you're transitioning from a band to working
Yeah.
with others to now it's just you. Is it easier or is it harder?
It's a beautiful thing creating with a band. You know, being in a band with people, creating a sound, creating songs, creating a movement, all that stuff. When everybody's connecting, when everybody's playing a song, when everybody's creating a song, it's a beautiful feeling. It feels awesome. But you don't have that all the time. You can't have that chemistry all the time, or you don't have people's like want to do it. You know,
Yeah.
with comedy, it's all in your time.
Yeah, it's
you
you.
write when you write, you perform when you want to perform, you go out when you want to go out, and all that stuff. Now with this, like with the whole tour and stuff, it might be tense because everybody's dealing with different things.
Yeah.
And maybe one guy's not in it 100% anymore, and then
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
tired of the guy who's like too excited to be on the road and all that
yeah.
shit. Like,
oh yeah, the one that parties too hard and like
yeah.
wants to do all the things.
Yeah, like that aspect, that's gonna be like the band life, the touring with as a band.
Yeah.
That's gonna be that kind of thing that you're gonna figure out, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like comedy's great. It's all on you, so it's
Yeah, I'm not used to it. When I was recording that song, that parody song, I noticed it really quick.
yeah,
Because I had never recorded a song. I had never been in a studio. I've never done anything what I
Yeah.
did. And I got to experience like, holy shit, I have my lyrics and I have these musicians that are doing they've been in the
Exactly.
game 30 plus years and they're looking at me
talking
like,
shit
is
to
this
you,
guy
like,
fucking
hey, hurry the
stupid?
fuck
Like,
up, man.
what? Sing it the way we're telling it. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys recording?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know. Because they were building the song around my lyrics. The music, they were building the song around my lyrics.
Yeah.
You know, but then they have their own way. Like, they were already together. I couldn't keep up with them.
yeah, because they're professionals.
Yeah,
they're used to working
they had
around
it
with other
down.
professionals.
They were already hearing the way they want to do it in their head, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, what are you guys talking about? Like, I don't know what this is.
Nah.
So I noticed it real quick. I'm like, man, this is very difficult to work for me because, again, I've been doing stand-up 13 years. I'm used to just, this is what I do, and I'll go up and I'll do this, and I know it's going to work.
Yeah.
You know? And I think at the end of the day, it worked really well because after a while, the producer was like, let this guy do the way he wants because he knows what he wants to do. You know what I mean? And some of them, you know, they kind of a little bit backed off a little bit like, all right, well, what do you want? And then I just was like, I want to do like this, do like this, do like that. And it all came together real well.
Yeah.
You know? But again, it's a collaboration.
Yeah, man.
I'm not used to that as a comic. This is me, motherfuckers. Like, I do my shit. I know it's gonna work.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't
and it's
have
hard
to
to explain it to, to help people create something that I know
Yeah.
It's like a joke to me. I could write a joke and I know what I'm doing and I know where this is going and I don't need help from anybody to deliver this shit.
Yeah.
So it's just really
But it became
weird.
a group effort, so you need everybody's input, everybody's type of expertise.
Dude, that's like
and all that
so
stuff.
different to me.
So you got to release a little bit of that power, that whole like solo writing, working, solo artist power.
There would be times that there was a little bit of tension where I'd be like, no, this needs to go like this.
Mine.
Yeah, like I'm telling you, this is what's the end of the day. It's about being funny, and they're about like creating the music.
Yeah.
So it was two different worlds that came together. But at the end of the day, it came out, way better than I could have even asked for, man. It was just so cool. But I really came out of that with a huge respect for musicians, dude, and people that... You're talking about a 3-minute song. We were in the studio till 4 a.m.
Yes, man. Just one track takes
and
hours.
We're not even done with it. I still got to go back. You got to hear it.
Patrick
got to hear
he
got to hear the pre-final cut version, I guess. That I don't think anybody's... I think maybe like 4 people have heard it. So you're lucky that you got to hear it, Pat. Your ears have explored
bro. Got to hear that for free.
No, that's cool, man. I think it's gonna turn out really good.
Yeah, I don't really care. And some people are like, oh, it's gonna be good, but at the same time, I'm just glad that I got to do it. I don't really. The less I care about what the reception is gonna be, the more it's just, hey, what's next?
It's just fun,
It was the same thing when I did my the overdubbed videos that I make. I just do them and I let them out. It's like I don't really care who's. Your job as at least for me, what I've come to the realization is that your job, like, you're not supposed to reach everybody. You could, but if you could just find the people that like you, that have your sense of humor, then that's all that matters. So whoever likes the song or whoever likes my overdub videos, those are the people I'm reaching out. I always thought that I needed to make everybody laugh. Everybody has to like me. And it's like, no, it's not, dude. Once you take that out of your fucking head and you just concentrate on the people who are following you, who are liking your stuff, who are sharing it and commenting, those are the people you concentrate on. You're never going to make everybody happy.
Yeah.
You just got to find the people who understand you and recognize your voice, and they follow that,
Yeah. That's cool, man. Like, when did you start, like, just focusing on that? Like, not being like, oh, I need to make everybody happy.
That wasn't until maybe... this was recent, dude. I'm
just recent,
like
after 13 years?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
It wasn't until maybe, like, about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was doing my overdub videos, that I was like, I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Because I know in the beginning of my career... Juan, can I have another beer, please?
Oh, I'm the fucking... Okay.
No,
no, bro. I get it. It's okay.
No, you're closest
I'll be the
to the fridge.
secretary.
That's why
God damn.
you're closest to
Is
the
that what
fridge.
it is? Is that what it is?
Yeah, you're the closest.
Let the adults talk. Go give me my shit.
Yeah, while you're up, I'll take another one.
But in the very beginning of my career, when I was doing it, I was really like, I didn't do any Mexican material.
Yeah.
I was like, I just want to go up and be funny. So I had a lot of observational jokes, about, just observation stuff, and I was like, I don't want to talk about me being Mexican, And I did that for like 10 years. For the first 10 years, I'm like, there's nothing in there that's Mexican, And then after a while, it's just. And then when I did the Goodfellas parody one, I got like over 500,000 views. I'm probably sure it's over now. It had like 11,000 shares, and it just got a lot of fucking traction. And I realized, I was like, well, this is what Again, I'm not pandering or nothing like that, which is something that as an artist, like, I consider myself an artist. Sometimes I'm like, dude, am I pandering? Am I pandering to the Latinos?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, I started to be like, well, I want to talk about me. Like, I am Mexican.
Yeah.
I do come from a poor Latino fucking ghetto-ass neighborhood. You know what I mean? And I work my material accordingly towards my truth. Like, just me. Like, how I grew up and what's happening to me. You know what I mean? And it's a huge balance. Because I respect comedy so much, dude. I grew up respecting it and admiring it and just knowing the rules of the game, you know. So I always just enough that you're saying your voice, but not enough to where you're exploiting yourself, you know, to a place where, you know, there are some comics that go beyond and you're like, oh, stay away, no mames. Like, you know what I mean? But some people, they like it or whatever. But it's just more about me finding my voice.
Yeah.
You know, finding my place in it. And I always try to balance it out real well. Like, I have my Latino content. And, like, I just did the Vinovium. I did a vineyard last week with Jesse Payton and Big Al Gonzalez. Nothing but white people, bro. Rich. You know, because they roll up in a Greyhound. They're not Greyhound. They have like a tour guide bus.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna say,
it was
Greyhound's not
nothing-
that rich,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
No,
That's some trash.
Yeah, that's white trash. We're here for the moonshine. But it was nothing but white people, rich white people, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't do none of the Latino content. So you have to know how to be. You have to have your material has to hit everywhere that you go. You know, so you gotta. So I went up. I didn't do nothing about being Mexican.
Do you have
I
like
did
a
everything
folder
else.
set up like white people, black people, Mexican?
Yeah, you gotta fucking a
You-
little.
you have
bit
it all
hit 'em
categorized?
You gotta hit them all, bro. That's what a killer does.
Yeah.
That's what a killer comic does.
I'm not a killer for sure.
It takes time, you know. It takes time. How long have you been doing stand-up?
Only 2 years, man.
Oh yeah, and you know what? I'm telling everybody right now, you're gonna be a great comic, bro.
Oh, thanks, man.
I've seen you perform. You're a
solid.
great writer. You deliver your jokes real well. I saw you with Danny Engel.
Yeah.
And I really liked your material, dude. I thought it was really, really good.
Oh, thanks, man.
So I think at 2 years you're doing really well.
Yeah.
Are you hosting
Hosting?
shows?
Yeah, I'll do some shows every now and then. Like I host the mic on Thursday, and then I'll do like the Blind Tiger hosting. But no, I'm just jumping on shows right now, trying to stay busy. But yeah, man, I appreciate that. Like I've been working kind of hard on it, you know.
It's hard to write, like, and again, 2 years is still kind of. A lot of people don't realize how long it takes to get good. Like
Yeah.
it takes a while,
Yeah.
dude. Like it really does.
Yeah, I have zero confidence in myself.
Zero
Yeah,
you're a comic, all right.
I want to quit like the minute before I step on stage. It's like I don't want to do this no more. Don't call me up. Don't call me up. And then I get up
That's so
there,
funny,
the first
dude.
laugh, then I'm like, all right, I'll roll with it and
Yeah,
stuff. But yeah, I'm still working on it, man. I'm still working on it a lot.
But at least from what I've seen, you look. You know, I feel like you got the formula down. You know, like I see the way you do, like the way you deliver your jokes and like your premises, your build-ups. Like you're actually writing a stand-up joke, you know. And I think there's a lot of people that could, you know, at 2 years don't know how to do that. Still, they're trying to just be funny, but they don't know. Like, hey, look, there's a formula, bro. You gotta build up. You got a punchline. You gotta add tags. There's things like that that take into developing a joke.
Yeah.
You know, and there's some comics that still don't know how to do that. You know, and it takes a lot longer for them.
The thing with me, like the one problem that I have is that I always feel like I need to prove something.
Yeah.
Like a lot of comics don't have that chip on the shoulder, like where they have to prove something. They're just going out to have a good time. They're just going out to have fun.
Yeah.
And I hate that I'm like that. That I had that mindset. But I have a lot of people that that don't like me, and that's fine. But I just gotta make sure that if I show up, that I'm not wasting my time, and that I'm making sure that they see me do the best that I can.
I bet you're funnier than them.
Well, I don't know. There's no
Wizard,
contest.
fuck 'em. I see. Let's all drop all the names tonight, guys.
Nah, but it's cool, man. Man, I saw this picture that you had that where you opened up for Los Tigres del Norte.
Oh yeah,
Was that just one? Was that just one show? Or was that a?
No, it was one night. It was in Laredo. I think it was Laredo. Yeah, we did Laredo. The
That's
Jalapeno Festival or some shit like that.
That's insane, man. I saw like the picture, like
Yeah,
you the crowd, like there's a field of people.
Yeah, Raymond Huerta asked me. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna be doing I'm gonna be opening up for Los Tigres del Norte," and he's like, "I want you to go up." So I didn't even have to, but Raymond's being the badass that he is, bro, and being such a good friend.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, he's such an amazing person who helped me get to where I'm at because he's been there for me and he likes me a lot. I've developed so much because Raymond Huerta, like, see, I grew up a comedy club comic. Like, I grew up at Comedy World, you know what I mean? The stand-ups, the Comedy Central presents. I worked at a comedy club. There's a style, you know what I mean, at comedy clubs, you know. So I wasn't really doing, and then I would do bar shows too, but still shows where tickets are sold, you know. with Raymond taught me another world of stand up. Raymond said, "Hey, you can do backyards."
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, you can do corporate gigs. Hey, you can do private events. You can do shows at 9 a.m. You know what I mean?
9 in the
and I
morning?
was like,
That sounds
what?
horrible.
So he started putting me on all these shows, where we would be doing shows for, we did a Bud Light show. We did a show for Bud Light, one of their brewing companies, at like 9 in the morning, dude. And I was like, how? What do you mean? Like, it's not a show. Like, is there a stage? It's like, no, it's the break room and we're going to make them laugh. You know what I mean? So he just built this thing out of me. Where you're like, holy shit, comedy works everywhere. Because when I got there, I'm like, this is gonna be horrible. Like, who the fuck wants to laugh at 9 in the morning? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in front of just the employees, like, it's weird to me. And that's what Raymond did. He started teaching me how to be funny everywhere.
Anywhere.
Anytime. At any time, anywhere, anytime, no matter what. Like, you're just on. And that's what I've learned with Ray, and I started applying that. And that's why I've been doing so well lately. In the last 2.5 years, my career's just gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
Because if you can do that, if you can be funny for a group of people at 8 in the morning, at 7 in the morning, then you could kill it anywhere, bro.
Yeah.
At that point, everything else is like, all right, let's do this, dude. Like, let's go. And you've developed these skills and these muscles that you take them into shows, and then they're like, holy shit, this guy's murdering it.
Yeah.
But it all came from doing shows with Raymond, dude. And he got the Tigres del Norte, and he was like, I want you to get on. Like, I want you to do this too. And I'm like, oh my God, dude.
How much time did you do for that one?
Dude, I must have done like 3 minutes. I was supposed to do 10.
Oh.
I was supposed to do 10, and Raymond was supposed to do like 20. But whose daughter was? Somebody's daughter, dude. I don't know if it was what's his name, dude? Super huge. Not Antonio Aguilar, but what's his son's name? I shouldn't even be dropping his name either, dog. But it's this huge musician, bro. Super famous. And his daughter sings. So she went up and she just started hogging the time, though, dog. You know what I mean? We're like, hey, get off the stage.
Oh, no.
We need to do our time. So she went overboard, you know what I mean? She started doing Selena songs and just pandering. She pandered like a motherfucker. But finally she got off, so we had to cut our time short, But I mean, just to go up, there was maybe 7,000 to 9,000 people.
It looked insane, man.
Yeah, it was insanely huge. I went up and just did.
And it has to be so hard. Like they just got done. They're there for a concert for Los Tigres, and then they have music before, and then the comedians get put a break in there.
Yeah, dude, I was really nervous. I mean, did they laugh? Nah, probably not. That possibly might have been my biggest bomb, but as far as people goes, no. But nah, they were being real cool. People were being all right, you know what I mean? But they're really not there. They could have been. I've heard horror stories. I mean, I know rock shows get really bad.
Yeah, man.
I know rock shows, comedians going up at rock shows.
The only one that can pull it off is Jim Brewer that I've ever seen.
Jim Brewer does that.
Yeah, Jim's the man.
Other than that, who else?
Jim Florentine he went on the road with Slayer. He would go on and do comedy, but he was going on between everybody, all the bands and stuff. So while they're doing the switch out, the equipment and stuff, he'll be out there.
Shut the fuck up.
He'll be out there doing comedy.
Yes, I've done that.
Which makes sense, but the audience is like, bring down the fucking bands, and they're fucking switching the equipment. I'm just here to.
I've been there, bro. Where again with Raymond, we do a lot of festivals.
Yeah.
And so he puts me up, the shitty spots or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'll be up there and hey guys, who else likes Olive Garden? You just hear a sector. In the background
man.
while I'm doing mine, and the drummer's and I'm just okay. Everybody's just moving stuff.
Shut the fuck up.
That's insane.
Oh,
Man.
dude, I'm legit sweating right now because I'm getting flashbacks of it.
The PTSD.
I think it's humid
Because
here.
it's so brutal,
too.
man. It's so brutal to just. And you're at the stage where it's so huge, and there's people already getting ready because they're waiting for this guy or this person,
Yeah.
And they're just looking at you like, who the fuck is this idiot, And you have to do 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I remember one time that happened to Raymond. We did a festival and they were for whatever, I forgot where the fuck it was, bro. But we had this. There was this guy, right? This novela guy from the novelas, like this super hot, like novela star, and they were gonna give him the key to the city, right? But they had Raymond. Raymond had to go up and do 45 minutes before they give the novela guy the key to the city, right?
And that's what the whole thing was. That was the whole ceremony.
Yeah, that was the whole. The mayor.
And so everybody's just waiting.
Yeah, so it was nothing but fucking old horny ladies, bro. Like in their 40s. You know what I mean? So like Raymond's up there, he's doing.
Talk about smells.
Yeah.
45 minutes?
Yeah, dude, he had to do 45 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
Which we were all like, that is a bad idea. Like, you know. So there's like all these horny tias, bro, just standing there waiting for whatever that guy was, you know. And then Raymond's up there doing his material, and then you just start hearing like, "Sáquenlo! Fuera! Ya bájese!" And there's just these horny tias, dude, like talking shit, you know.
Damn, man.
But then Raymond kind of started shitting them then too, like, "Señora, ya párele. Like, I could smell the heat coming out of your vagina. Toda mojada." Like, you know, just started shitting on them.
That
But
sounds
it was-
fucking horrible, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty
Those
brutal.
are nightmares.
Dude, those
Those are nightmares.
Dude.
Like, I'm getting chills. I wasn't even there, but I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, dude, and there's a shitload of people, you know what I mean? So it's just
Yeah.
like, and then they have the whole fucking, you have the carousel, you got the fucking stupid rides.
Yeah.
Like, they're everywhere. It's just nothing. It's insanity, bro, when you do festivals. It's probably the hardest things you can do.
You gotta do it though, man. It's a good opportunity.
It just makes you fearless, bro. After a while, you're like, fuck this shit.
That's what I need. I need something to make me fearless. Because like I said, like I'm always scared. I have no confidence. I want to quit. I want to quit before every set, and sometimes after every set too.
Yeah,
sometimes after I'm like,
They're always gonna be
that's the
there.
last one.
Yeah, those shows are always there, dude. There's always those things are always part of it's part of the game, bro. You can't have a great set without having a bomb, you know what I mean? That comes with it every once in a while.
That's insane, man. Like, just all those people. Like, I can't even imagine like performing from all those people. What could be worse though, because y'all did a show in a haunted house with how many people were in that show?
There was 8 ghosts, 8 ghosts, and like 3 children.
8 ghosts.
So it was a G-rated show, except for John Polar Bear. He did all
It
his
was
raunchy
not a
material.
G-rated show. It was-
How'd your set go, Juan?
Huh?
How'd your set
I
go
didn't
for the
even know I was
ghost?
gonna be doing a set, and then Irma brings me up. She's like, "I'll be fine." I'm like, "Bitch, I don't know what to say in front of the."
Yeah, I think
the ghost.
just to give a little bit of context to that, because that's a random thing to say. We rented out a haunted house here in San Antonio. It's on the news and everything, with this lady who lives in this a house where she has like a huge collection of creepy haunted memorabilia, bro. Like the dolls, right? She had some
There's
creepy
some
ass
creepy dolls.
shit,
So
bro.
she has a bunch of like artifacts and
Yes.
toys and furniture from all over the world,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
from Sweden,
Yeah.
from fucking
England.
What's that one from where Dracula's from? Was it
Transylvania?
Yeah, all that shit. Anyways, she has all that stuff there.
Dolls.
And she's like, yeah, there's this room, and there's this. And by the way, when I fucking heard about this shit, Israel, he like texted me. I texted him at work. I was like, hey man, what you got going on today? He's like, hey bro, just you gonna do anything? Just meet me here. And I was like,
Yeah.
all right. And he's like, did you see the video when I get there? I was like, nah, what video? He's like, the video I sent you. I was like, nah, I don't know. I go, what the fuck are we doing here at this house, bro? We're just there and they're scouting it. It's him and Irma, and he's like, dude, I'm so fucking nervous. And I'm like,
You still had no
what's
idea
going
what was
on?
going on?
Like,
Yeah, it was sick.
what are we here
He was,
for?
like, waiting
We
for us
meeting
before we
somebody?
got there.
Is it your aunt? Who is this?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is it? And he's like, nah, man, this is a haunted house, bro. You didn't hear it. And I was like, what? He's saying that right when we're knocking on the door and shit.
Oh,
Then the lady
man.
opens the door.
It's a
I'm like,
fucking
I
trap.
don't know what the fuck I'm about to walk into.
Yeah,
and it's
dude.
just all these fucking crazy dolls and shit.
I don't know why we were just like, let's do a show at a fucking haunted
Well, y'all
house.
had an idea to do like
yeah,
a
we were gonna
thing,
we're gonna do
like
this
a
show,
series
you
or
know, yeah, like a
something.
little. We're gonna do like a 5-episode thing, but
What was
we're
it
gonna
called?
hold off on it.
Ghost jokes?
Yeah, Ghost Jokers.
Ghost
we're gonna call it Ghost Jokers,
Uh-huh.
and we're gonna do 5 cities, 5 different haunted houses, 3 comedians every episode.
See, I
So-
can't do it though because what happened was it was really supposed to be Irma,
Me and
Polar
John.
Bear and John, and then
Yeah,
Israel.
I was
And
I headlined.
So, yeah, I
You
was
headlined?
Just then they asked me if I wanted to do the video. I was like, yeah, I don't care. Like, I had no respect for this house at all.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
But do you believe in ghosts?
I mean, no, not really.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck yeah.
Like you've seen it yourself?
I've experienced it. Yeah.
Or you just want to believe?
No, have you ever seen my set? I talk about it on stage.
I've never
About
heard
how I
you
grew
talk
up in
about
a haunted
ghosts.
house. It's a new joke that I've been working on. Where everybody goes, I'll get you guys real quick. I just say like, I'm still building it, but I grew up in a really ghetto neighborhood. Like it was so ghetto, man. Like I grew up in a haunted house in the ghetto, dude. It wasn't really a haunted house. I grew up in a haunted trailer. It's like, you know how poor you have to be to grow up in a haunted trailer, dude? Like, everybody feel bad for us. I feel bad for the fucking ghost, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
He
I
probably
have
got
to be
moved.
here. You could leave.
Yeah, he moved from like a decent trailer park and like just like where the fuck are we going? You know?
Yeah.
Gets into the and then like the ghost, like he's getting scared by cholos breaking into the house. You know what I mean? I'm trying to build that up. But I really did grow up in a
So this was
haunted-
your idea. The whole ghost jokers was your
No,
idea.
we both, me and Irma. I don't know how we just started pitching it. We're like, it'd be cool if we did just like comedy at a fucking haunted house.
Does she believe in ghosts, Irma?
I don't know if she does.
She does.
I
because
just-
she was scared too. See, I had one
You
experience.
don't? Do you?
I only had
I
one
haven't
weird thing
experienced
ever happen to
anything.
me.
But
It was-
but have you seen YouTube, dog?
Yeah.
Can't tell me all that shit's bullshit. I mean, a lot
Sure
of it
you
maybe.
can.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
say it's
man.
bullshit, but I mean, I wouldn't say I'm scared of it. Like, I had one weird experience, and it was at my grandma's house one time where the light was on, and I just walked by it, and the light went off, but then the switch was off, and nobody was around. I was like, what the fuck? And that was about the only time that I've ever had something weird like that happen. I just assumed the switch flicked. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
It's the only weird thing.
I just don't. I had a sighting once. An old dog had died, and then I thought I saw him. That's the only. That's the
Holy
closest thing to
shit,
seeing a
dog.
ghost. Like,
Well, I mean, how can you? I just feel like it's a weird topic because you gotta understand too that we're only it boils down to like physics, bro. Like your
Yeah.
eyes. We're only seeing life through one dimension,
Yeah.
through our eyeballs.
yeah,
But that just because you can't see something doesn't mean that there's other things that are happening around you that you just can't be. So do you not believe? I'm assuming you're
I'm
an
not.
atheist?
I'm not a. No. Well, no.
So you've
I'm
never
not a
experienced-
doubter. I just never experienced for myself, and seeing is believing.
Yeah.
So-
It's
I'm
just like
not-
one of those things. Like if you see it, you're like, oh, that's cool. Like I just
Something
kinda, oh,
like
shit.
that. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I can believe. Like if it happens and it's like, oh, okay, that was real. Cool.
Yeah, I don't believe to see. I have to see to believe. If that makes sense and stuff. I mean, I was raised Catholic. I'm not an atheist. I think atheist is a little bit aggressive.
Yeah, I know. Right? Fuck you.
Yeah.
You're nothing, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
So,
Yeah, I'm
Juan, you did a
agnostic.
set in this ghost haunted house.
Yeah.
How did it
Irma
go?
It was.
We got
killed the
super
room, bro.
trashed. I know we got super hammered. Irma brought out
Dude.
a fucking bottle of vodka, and we just got trashed. as
Funniest
fuck.
thing that happened at the fucking place was whenever Polar Bear did his set, and then that lady kept coming up to us, and she was like, I mean, because she said, I asked her, what can I talk about? Because I didn't have a set. Irma just put me up, and I was like, what can I say? And she's just like, oh, anything you want, anything's fair game. And
Yeah.
then John goes up there and fucking just
First thing is jacking off.
I started talking about jacking off or something.
In front
and
of
then,
the-
like later
Rubbing
on,
the microphone
later
like
on
a
in the
dick.
house, she goes, we didn't really. I don't think the ghost. Like, did y'all not feel the vibe in the room? The
No,
ghost
she got
did not
yeah,
appreciate
she got
it.
offended for the ghost
Yeah.
because one of the ghosts was like molested, like
No,
the
no.
bear.
She said that
Oh.
a lot of these ghosts are like stuff happened when they were little, and then okay, so right above this this Egyptian coffin thingy, right above it, there's this glass case with a bear, a teddy bear in it, right?
Uh-huh.
Creepy
All right,
looking one.
this teddy bear is kind of torn in different
Yeah.
places. So when she's telling us, there's things have happened to these things and they've been molested and
To
stuff.
the bear?
Hang on. She
No,
goes,
the-
hang on. She goes, like the kids that were with the things, they've been molested and stuff like that. She goes, and then the bear especially. And I was like thinking about it. And I was just seeing all the ripped up thing. I was like, I bet you that bear was molested, bitch.
Oh
That was-
man.
No,
got tore
kid,
up, man.
There was a kid that had the bear and he was molested and then he possessed
Allegedly,
the
we
bear.
don't know.
According to what
We don't
she
know.
was saying. But it was this really ugly, creepy fucking bear, dude. Like really. So I did like if I was molested and I was possessing a bear, I would have been offended. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have possessed a bear if I was molested.
Yeah.
What would you
what's the
possess?
thing
Seen
to
it be
choose?
molested.
What would you possess, Mr. Potato
I
Head?
would possess a fucking penis. Just be inside a vagina all the time.
Or a butt.
Can you possess body
what
parts?
If they were
I
gay,
don't
bro?
think so.
If they were gay, you could go somewhere else.
Oh yeah.
Oh no!
that would be
You go
horrible.
to the assholes every time, bro.
Haven't I suffered enough?
Oh god, yeah, I can't possess penises, dude.
Man, no, I don't think that's allowed. I think that's rule 2 or 3 or something like that.
I mean, I do think we are energy, is what it is. Humans, we're electrolyte. I mean,
We're electrolytes?
we're electricity. In other words,
Yeah,
we're energy. Atoms is energy.
Yeah.
So I feel like energy always goes on. It takes off from your body. So I mean, maybe there's things that we just can't see it. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I never saw anything like that, like the ghost tracks. But that's all like it's on a hill or
Fucking
something,
Ghost dog.
huh?
The ghost dog that you saw. Whose dog was it? Was it your neighbor's?
No, it was my dog. And then me and a buddy of mine, we were still in middle school. Me and a buddy of mine were just walking, and then out of nowhere, like on tall grass, I thought I saw the dog, and so I was like, "Oh, look, it's whatever," and no, it wasn't there. I couldn't find him.
Fucking, what pet cemetery neighborhood did you live in?
No, man, it was like we were walking off of 35. It was like the big tall grass out there, and yeah, man, because we were like taking
What
a
did your
bus.
dog die of?
It wasn't my dog. It was my sister's dog, and
Oh, so you guys had a Mexican.
he
orphan
accidentally
dog.
hung himself.
He killed himself?
Accidentally hung himself. Like he jumped over the fence.
He accidentally hung
Oh
him.
my
What?
Yeah.
god!
What did he get caught on?
Well, because we had it's like a picket fence, one like a wood panel or wood
Oh, his
fence.
collar.
So yeah, we had a deck,
You definitely got that.
and so he was able to jump over, but he was still like tied up. So he was able to jump over, and then he tried to jump back into the yard, but he didn't jump where the deck was. So he jumped on where the grass was, where there was nothing to hold him, and we found him like that. And I was like, oh fuck, and it was like a little.
That's a trauma. That's trauma, bro. Because that means that.
You
that
telling
dog-
me, man? I
You
almost cried
walked
just
in
telling y'all.
seeing it just like dangling there.
If you're ever gonna see a
Yeah.
ghost dog, it's a ghost dog that died like that.
I don't know, man, but yeah. So, and a buddy of mine, we would take like bus trips, and then we'd just walk home and stuff. And so we were walking through like a little ditch thing, and like it was all this tall grass, and we're just walking, bullshitting, talking, whatever. And then out of nowhere, I see like it's a golden retriever. I see like this little golden retriever. I was like, oh, look, just like Texas, because that was the dog's name, Texas. And then I look back, and then I look,
Like it was
and
so
he
quick.
was gone, yeah. And I was like, look, it's and it was so funny, dude, because like it wasn't funny, but because I was like, dude, like if I could change anything, it would be to have that dog come back. And my friend's like, dude, your parents just divorced and shit. You want that dog
That's
back?
what
I was
you would
like,
change.
well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a good dog. But yeah, as far as like seeing ghosts, like you feel spirits or something, but I think you just want to. Like if I go to my grandma's house, like I still like feel like spirits, or maybe she's there, like her aura is there and all that stuff. But like ghost haunted houses and all that stuff, I don't vibe with that. But just
I
because
mean, I don't chase it. You know, I don't go looking for. I mean, other than
You
the
did,
haunted
bro.
house show.
Ghost
Which,
jokers.
well, I think that's why we canceled it. At the end of the day, we were like, maybe we shouldn't be fucking with this stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because you never know. I mean, I don't know. She had a lot of occult stuff. You know,
Yeah.
she was really. At the beginning, it was like really friendly, and then the more she drank, the
That's
more
how
you
cults
started
work,
to
bro.
see like, oh, this is more occultism. You know, where she.
Yeah.
That's how cults work.
Yeah, and then she had this clown doll, right? This super creepy clown doll, and she just kept like, he likes
wants
Israel
you
a
to
lot.
touch
Like
him. He
that
wants you to
doll
hold
likes
him.
Israel a lot. Israel, why don't you tell him? Like she was like, touch him, and I'm like, no, bitch, I'm not touching the fucking creepy clown doll.
So the more that she drank, the more she got into it. Like she got.
Yeah, it
The
got a
more
little dark.
aggressive
Okay,
she
well,
no,
there
no,
you
the more
go,
aggressive she
man.
got, bro.
Yeah, I don't like if it's alcohol like induced ghost scene or whatever. Nah, you're just drunk.
Yeah, so
I've seen a lot of shit drunk.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're ghosts. Cool, man. Well, this was fun, guys. Thanks for coming on. Juan, you don't have anything coming up? Anything you're promoting? You're just Israel's manager now.
No, I'm not his manager, bro. But I mean, I'm working through some stuff, man.
You gotta get back out there, man.
I'm getting back out there.
You gotta get back out there. Social media, all that stuff. How do people find you if they need to find you?
The one that got away, 87. Just look that up on.
The
Instagram.
one that got away.
87
Who sings that song?
on Instagram and Twitter.
Facebook. In high school.
Israel, what you got going on, man? Give me your social media and
Yeah,
all that
just
stuff
look
again.
me up, guys. One Bad Comic. Everything's One Bad Comic. OneBadComic.com. One Bad Comics my Facebook. One Bad Comics my Instagram. All my dates are on there on my profile, so you get to see all my dates. Like I said, I really want to push the LOL show that's coming up. When is it? The 12th?
No, that's the one.
The 19th. The 19th.
19th.
Yeah, it's like a week
19th, and then I have the 22nd at Chaparritas too. I'm waiting on a flyer for that one. That one's also in San Antonio. I'm gonna be headlining that one. So if you guys want to watch me headline, I got some new material that I want to work out. I'm gonna try some new stuff that I'm doing, and that's on the 22nd in San Antonio. That's the last show in San Antonio that I have before I go on the road. So it's on my my poster on my One Bad Comic page.
Tight, man. So yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Patrick C. Huerta. February is pretty packed, man. Well, starting with the February 6th, I'll be hosting the open mic at La Lucha. Please sign up for that. We're trying to make that open mic happen.
That's a cool open mic.
It's a good vibe, man. I like the staff there, and it's pretty cool. And Thursday nights is your opportunity to hit 2 comedy open mics if you're trying to work out some stuff. But just come support the room. Good drink specials on that. As far as shows, February 7th, I'll be at 210 Pizza and Burger Bistro. That's the Duck Easy show. He's putting it on. So I'm jumping on that show. February 12th, I'll be at Halcyon's in Southtown. February 21st, I'll be hosting the Blind Tiger Comedy Club Secret Midnight Show. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Y'all got to come out to that. And then February 29th, I'll be back at Las Cheladas with Danny Engel and Mario Salazar and a couple other comics. But yeah, thank you for listening, guys. Thanks for coming on and bringing beer.
Just something real quick. Patrick, anybody that's listening to, follow this guy. This guy's getting funnier and funnier. All those shows that he just mentioned, I highly recommend you guys go to them and check out his material because he's a really good comedian. And thank you very much for having me on your podcast, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks. All right. Laters.